A loss in the Iron Maiden family, Kreator opened a new chapter, and Judas Priest played one of the most important concerts of this year. Metal is life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. The Metallica rumour. The rumour mill is heating up. Metallica might actually be the next band to get a residency at the legendary Sphere in Las Vegas.
Because it's Las Vegas, and because they can.
According to Vital Vegas, the band is ready to ink a deal for a full 2026 residency, so right after wrapping up their European M72 tour dates. And this news actually comes just days after Kirk Hammett said in one of the recent interviews that everyone in the Metallica camp would simply love to give at least one show in Sphere sometime in their lifetime. And it actually looks like after U2, Fish and the Eagles, and also Backstreet Boys, Metallica might actually get a chance to do that. And if that actually happens, the craziest thing is that Metallica will become the first ever metal band to get such mainstream honor, which, well, I wouldn't really care much about, but in my opinion, just once again shows that the interest in metal today in 2025 might actually be at an all-time high, or at least the highest point in the past 40 years or so. Here guys, as always, I simply have to point out that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to this channel, so if you're not one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching here, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. Ozzy Osbourne's final journey. This week, Birmingham said goodbye to one of its own. Not just a legend, but a true son of its city. Thousands gathered along Broad Street as Ozzy Osbourne's funeral procession made its way through the heart of his hometown. A live brass band, Boston Brass, led the cortege, performing Iron Man and Crazy Train, as fans who, by the way, started gathering there early in the morning, alongside the highest city officials and media outlets from literally all across the world, cheered, wept, and held signs declaring, "Birmingham will always love you." But the most emotional moment came when the Osbourne family stepped out of the black cars. Jack with tears in his eyes, Callie in sunglasses styled like her father's, Sharon, Amy, and even little Sydney, Ozzy's grandson, held by Slipknot's Sid Wilson, all laid black wrapped roses at the Black Sabbath bench. And you know what? One of the hardest moments of that procession actually was watching Sharon Osbourne, the Iron Lady of heavy metal and one of the toughest women in the industry, being so vulnerable and so crushed. Because yes, for all of us, it is a pretty hard week. I mean, we all lost a grandfather of heavy metal, the one who helped forge this genre. But for them, for the Osbourne's family, they lost someone who was much more than that. And I think that the image of the Osbourne's family embracing each other and turning to acknowledge the crowd, who responded with wild chants of the legendary musician's name, will be the one that I personally will never forget. But the most important thing is that throughout the years, in multiple interviews, Ozzy pointed out that whenever he dies, he didn't want anyone to truly weep, but instead he wanted jokes, chaos, and a celebration of his life and his amazing musical legacy. And although it is virtually impossible to not cry when saying goodbye to the man who helped create heavy metal, a man who gave generations permissions to be loud, weird, broken, and free, still, I think that this ceremony was pretty much exactly what Ozzy wanted. And I kinda think that it most likely made him smile watching it from above. Let me hear you scream like you want it. And although of course the ceremony itself was held in his native Birmingham, tributes to the legendary musicians are happening all across the world, including the Royal Buckingham Palace, as even the band of the Coldstream Guards broke their own rules and performed Paranoid in honor of the Prince of Darkness. So yes, Ozzy Osbourne is gone. And with him, the entire era of heavy metal is sadly gone as well. But nevertheless, I kind of feel like with his persistence and thanks to his last ever Back to the Beginning concert, he kind of ensured that the genre which he has given his entire life to will go on no matter what. And yes, as emotional as it will be to watch the Back to the Beginning film next year, as well as the final documentary on which Ozzy has been working in his final days, still, I hope that instead of just mourning the legend, his life and legacy would inspire all of us metalheads around the world to ensure that our favorite genre will live no matter what. Here, a huge shout out and a thank you to all my patrons and all the YouTube channel members, as it is thanks to you and thanks to everyone who purchases Metal Vulgar merch that this YouTube channel is even able to exist. And by the way guys, there are a couple of very special episodes already available specifically for you, so definitely do not miss out on those. George Lynch's reinvention. George Lynch is back, and he's bringing the mob with him. The legendary guitarist played the first 2 shows with his brand new band, which he named very originally, George Lynch and the Mob. Joined by Andrew Freeman on vocals, Brian Tichy on drums, and Jaren Gulino on bass. According to George, the lineup may rotate in the future, but one thing is still absolutely clear: George is far from being done. After putting Lynch Mob to rest earlier this year with a farewell tour and a double album on the way, this new chapter keeps the flame burning. And all of this is done without the baggage of the past name, but with all the fire. Or at least so does George say. And you know what? I don't actually care whether it is a fresh start or not. What I actually do care is seeing the legendary guitarist up on stage once again. Because let's be honest here, it is always nice to see George doing what he does best. And especially since he clearly still rips. Kreator's new chapter. This year is getting better and better for all the fans of German thrash metal, as after the news from Destruction and the brand new album from Sodom, this week we found out that Kreator have officially finished recording their brand new studio album. And now, all we are waiting for is the final mixes.
Kreator kept flying that flag of just...
The band spent months in the studio with producer Jens Bogren, who of course is not a newcomer to all of the fans of Kreator. And not only. And according to the band, the brand new material on their 16th studio album will bring a slightly different edge, including lower guitar tunings on some tracks. And overall, according to the bassist Frederick Leclerc, this new album will be much stronger than even Hate über alles. Which, I don't know about you, but at least to me is a rather brave statement.
Nice!
The still untitled album is expected in early 2026, and even the music videos for it have been filmed already, and which, together with the fact that a full-length Kreator documentary titled Hate and Hope premieres in September and Millie's autobiography lands at the end of August, is simply incredible news for all of the fans of this band. And those who are not new to the channel know that I am a fan of Teutonic thrash metal, and so yes, at least to me, this album automatically becomes one of the most anticipated ones in the world of metal overall. And now the time has come for your favorite part of the video, so let's take a look at 5 latest metal releases from this week, which although did not get their own segments in this video, are still definitely worthy of your attention. Sweden's Orbit Culture have released Hydra, the 3rd single from their upcoming album Death Above Life, out October 3rd via Century Media. The band says it is a raw and unfiltered track about cutting ties, written during a time of intense stress. The accompanying video was filmed in the California desert, with no green screens, with visuals inspired by Dune's stark landscapes matching the heavy, tuned-down sound. Spinal Tap! Yes, the fictional metal legends have teamed up with Elton John to re-record their classic track Stonehenge, released this week via Interscope. The new video corrects the old prop mishap with full-size standing stones and dancing dwarfs, and features Elton taking over the lead vocals from beneath the stage. The song appears on the soundtrack album The End Continues, due September 12th, alongside the sequel film Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues.
Stonehenge, where the virgins lie and the prayers of devils fill the midnight sky.
Christian metal band Stryper deliver Still the Light, their first single from their upcoming Christmas album arriving this fall. Released in July as a cheeky Christmas in July gesture, the track comes with a lyric video and celebrates faith with original festive compositions and reimagined classics. German power metal stalwarts Primal Fear share Tears of Fire, the third single from their new album Domination, out September 5th via Rain in Phoenix Music. With new guitarist Talia Belaseca and drummer Andre Hilgers now on board, the song delivers soaring vocals and hymn-like chorus. And as Ralph Sheepers puts it, this track is meant to convey heroic solidarity, reminding fans they're never alone in adversity. New wave of British heavy metal pioneers Sweet Savage return with The Chosen One, the second single of their long-awaited album Bang, due September 12th via Ear Music. The song, recorded with Deep Purple alumnus Simon McBride, infuses classic riff-driven intensity with darker, experimental tones. Vocalist Ray Haller notes it reflects on current global turmoil, encouraging listeners to find their own meaning in the lyrics. The new wave of British heavy metal strikes back. Diamond Head, Raven, Tank, Praying Mantis, and Persian Risk. I mean, it doesn't really get more NWOBHM than that. And this week, a brand new supergroup called Lords of New Wave of British Heavy Metal has officially been formed, featuring members from all of those legendary bands, including Tina Troy, John Gallagher, Carl Wilcox, Cliff Evans, and Carl Santance. And their mission is very simple: celebrate the legendary movement which has given us some of metal's greatest riffs and most raw energy. According to the statement, the band will perform the songs from their respective bands, but also a carefully selected list of new wave of British heavy metal era classics. And the first two shows of this band are already locked in Tokyo for 2026. And with those, they truly hope to engage more and more younger audiences into celebrating one of the greatest musical movements of all times, which on one hand is really cool, but at the same time I kind of have a feeling that if they really want to do that, well, maybe they should try doing it also with the brand new material, and not just perform the biggest hits which were written over 40 years ago. Judas Priest and the Triumph of Heavy Metal. In a week that already felt like an end of an era, Judas Priest and Alice Cooper did not just play yet another concert. They, on one hand, delivered a powerful eulogy to their all-time friend, and on the other, showed that no matter what, rock and metal will keep going on.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
Just days after Ozzy Osbourne's passing, the O2 Arena in London became the loudest, most defiant tribute possible. And what was meant to be a double headliner actually turned out to be the most important metal concert of this year, after Back to the Beginning. Alice Cooper brought the full theatrical madness: Black Doctors, guillotines, Feed My Frankenstein, Poison, and even Johnny Depp, who joined Alice Cooper's band on stage for a cover of Paranoid, for which Alice also was dressed in Ozzy Osbourne's t-shirt to honor his all-time friend. And then came Priest, and with the opening track of Warpigs, to which, in case you guys don't know, Judas Priest have been entering the stage for God knows how many years now, it was absolutely clear that this will be the show to remember. The band took the stage by the storm with All Guns Blazing, Free Will Burning, Painkiller, and all the other songs which make their Shield of Pain tour truly an exceptional one, as well as, of course, the emotional and touchy Giants in the Sky, which, in addition to the many fallen heroes it was originally written for, Rob Halford and the boys, of course, also dedicated to their friend from Birmingham, with Rob saying that this music brings them love, it brings them peace, and this week it has gotten them through the hardest of times.
We love you, Ozzy. This is a song about him and all the other greats we've lost. This is the giants in the sky.
But at the same time, this concert was definitely not a mourning fest. Quite the opposite. It was a celebration of everything heavy metal stands for. A celebration so loud and important that even Glenn Tipton couldn't resist and joined Judas Priest on stage. And in all honesty, I simply cannot even imagine what it must have felt like for all the people who were right there on the stadium to see the legendary guitarist up on stage once again, after more than a year-long break. And by the way, with this concert, Judas Priest actually broke their own record, playing their biggest UK headline performance to date, thus making it a perfect way to close the European leg of their Shield of Pain tour. And those who have been following this channel for a while now do know that I promised that by the end of this tour I will part ways with this signed copy of a Judas Priest album, Invincible Shield. Of course, signed by everyone in the band. Overall, we were able to raise 96,292 hryvnias, which is about $2,500 for this Invincible Shield vinyl record. And the winner, who has been chosen via randomizer, is Mr. Ilya K, who donated on the 24th of June this year. Yet, at the same time, top 5 donors will guaranteed receive something very special from nobody else but Rob Halford himself. And the winners of those 5 prizes I will be posting on my Instagram page this Monday, so please do not miss it. So congrats to the winner and thanks to everyone who participated in this very important fundraiser. And I promise you guys that in addition to the many Defenders of the Faith series videos, some of which are actually already available for all my patrons, there are a couple of very special surprises for all of the Judas Priest fans coming up on the channel in a couple of months. Oh wow, who would have thought? Slaughter to Prevail are caught in a storm of allegations, this time from a drummer, Thomas Finch. And it's getting uglier by the day. Although it's not like something about Slaughter to Prevail wasn't ugly before that.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Finch claims he was told to get fucked by the band's tour manager after simply asking to be paid. In a detailed public post, he describes serious mismanagement, no contracts, no clear schedule, poor treatment of crew, and personal expenses, like food, going unreimbursed. He even says that he was forced to buy pizza for the entire crew, while the band's management spent $128,000 on inflatable props that weren't even used.
I get what I deserve.
Slaughter to Prevail, of course, responded denying most of the claims and said that they will gladly meet him in court. But I only have one question. What the flip did you think when you were starting working with those guys? No, seriously, at least to me, this is yet another reminder that Slaughter to Prevail should not even exist as a band in the first place. Seriously. Ew!
You are a stupid man!
A loss in the Iron Maiden family. The founding voice of Iron Maiden is gone. Paul Mario Day, the band's very first vocalist, has passed away at the age of 69 after battling cancer for several years. And while he was with Maiden only from 1975 to 1976, he was actually right there at the very beginning together with the legendary Steve Harris. And it was his voice that helped shape the first steps of what would become one of the most legendary metal bands in history. But actually, his story didn't end there. Paul went on to front more, Wildfire and Sweet, leaving his mark on the new wave of British heavy metal scene with unforgettable performances, including the iconic 1981 Monsters of Rock show, alongside AC/DC and Whitesnake. And although his name might not be as widely known as some of the vocalists that followed afterwards, still, Paul Mario Day never stopped believing in music. And even when life didn't hand him the same spotlight, he still kept singing, kept creating, and kept fighting. So yeah guys, play Warhead loud today, even if you never heard it before. And let's remember that every great legacy has its humble beginning, and Paul's voice was the beginning of the legacy of the legendary Iron Maiden. Oh guys, and by the way, I'm actually preparing a special episode on Paul Day, his time at Iron Maiden, what he was able to do together with band and what he sadly did not have time to do, and his journey afterwards. So definitely do not miss it on the channel, and I think that it will be out sometime next week. But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to like it, comment under it, spread the word about this channel, and of course, join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, what else is out there? Discord, pretty much anywhere you can post content. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!